Spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show that we are discussing today and want to avoid spoilers, stop right there. Go binge and come on back. If you have or don't mind spoilers, sit back with your favorite drink and enjoy. Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Dramas with your hosts, Michael.
And Nadia over there.
Hi. Welcome to February.
The coldest month of the year, pretty much, in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in the northern hemisphere. So February is not only Valentine's Day, obviously, commercial, lovely holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing against Valentine's Day, don't worry. It's a commercial holiday, but everybody buys into it, so do I, so don't worry.
Just looking behind.
I mean, it's you need to love your significant other all year round. Just saying. Okay.
Yeah.
It just gives those with crushes an opportunity to confess their love, right?
Yeah.
In most of these shows that we watch, right?
Yeah.
So, besides Valentine's Day, February is actually Black History Month here in Canada and United States. And it's a very important month because of the history of African Americans and in Canada and in the U.S. because of the slavery.
Yeah.
Right? It all started from slavery and white people stealing, pretty much kidnapping, stealing African Americans, Africans and Haitians and Caribbeans, bringing them to North America. Oh, shit. And trading them off as slaves. I mean, that's like, I know other parts of the world, slavery has happened, probably still going on. But that is a very important thing here in Canada, especially how Canada likes to, I'm not trying to make our Canadian government look bad, but
They like to sweep it under the rug.
Years and years and years and years and years, they kind of swept it on the rug, just like they did with the residential schools and the way they treated First Nations, right?
Yeah.
And Aboriginals. So it's a very important month. Please, if you can, do your homework, do your research, look into Black History Month, look into why it's important.
All year around, not
all
just this
year
month.
round. Yeah, it's not. This is not something that we just 1 month a year and you know what I mean. That's it. No. This is for your life. Like you should be educated on this. You should.
Really, schools should teach more about it. You know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean,
that's the whole thing.
yeah, and especially with Black Lives Matter, this is pretty much what it's based about. You know what I mean? Like this is why it's so important. Black Lives Matter is so important now because they freed the slaves, but the oppression against Black people never stopped.
Yeah.
Right, up until this day. Yeah. So please educate yourselves and do your research. Have some links in the description for Black Lives Matter and Black History Month to do your research, look into it,
educate yourself.
Don't be an ass. So today we are talking about something, a show that we tried to start our first podcast with many times, and it just never worked out. Technical difficulties, technical failures. Yeah. Everything just went to shit on the first several
recordings.
Lots of recordings. Everything just didn't work out the way it was supposed to. So today we're gonna do it.
Yeah. So today we are talking about Goblin.
So Goblin or Guardian, the Great and Lonely God, or Shining God, depending on the translation and whatnot.
So I think it's one of our favorite.
Yeah.
We might have a lot of favorite.
Yeah, we have a lot of favorites. This is one of our favorites.
Yeah.
And we're not biased because some of it takes place in Canada. Woo-hoo! We're not biased. But
and we've been there. Nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Not a pleasant experience due to unforeseen circumstances, but that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah. So this show was one of our favorites. The reason being, had a great cast, had a great script. Cinematography was great. The filming location in Canada was amazing. I wish I knew it was filming at that time.
When did it come out again?
This came in 2016.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, 2016, 2017, December 2016. So I'm guessing it started filming in the beginning of 2016, or even fall, because it was fall.
It was fall, like every time they were there.
Yeah, so they must have filmed the Canadian scenes
all at once
during the fall in Canada.
Makes sense.
So it takes place in Quebec City, in Quebec, Canada, at the Chateau Frontenac.
Yeah.
And
very nice hotel.
Very nice hotel. Very, like, the city of Quebec is very nice, beautiful. And the locations that they picked within Quebec and old Quebec City was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
The cast was fantastic. Gong Yu plays the Goblin. Kim Gong plays Jian Tak. Lee Don Wook, who plays the Grim Reaper. Yu Na plays Sunny, not Sun Hee. And Yuk Sung Jae plays Yu Dokwa, who is his nephew. Yuk Sung Jae is from B2B. He is the maknae of B2B, who ended up being the leader at one point because of the way B2B does their stuff. And yeah, so the rest of the cast obviously is great. And they had some cool cameo appearances, one being Jung Hae-in as the baseball player who had a crush on Jian Tak. That was cute. And other people as well.
Can I just say one of my favorite characters of the show was the grandfather? He was like, first of all, his voice was just outstanding.
A nice deep like
reverberating voice.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And like he was just great. And like I cried when he died.
Yeah,
spoiler,
that was
obviously
really sad. Yeah. Did they get their spoiler warning at the beginning? Don't worry. Spoiler warning. So there's so we were discussing this and we were trying to figure out what to really talk about for the show. Because there's many.
I feel like we could do. Essentially, this could be like a part 1, and then we could do another part 2.
I mean, we could. If people want it, if you want it, if we want it, we can do it. But we'll try and stick to a couple subjects today, because there's so much. There's so much to the show, and like you can delve into certain aspects of the show as well. We're gonna kind of delve into certain aspects that we found more.
Like more of the
I guess the more not prominent, that's not the right word. The ones that really
stood out to us.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I mean that stood out in general, in my opinion. Sorry, I keep moving the mic around. My apologies. But yeah, so one of the we'll start. I don't know. What do you want to start with?
I don't know.
Because, like, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and this is like, I'm no psychologist, I'm no, psychotherapist. I just have an interest in psychology and stuff like that, and I always find it fascinating with fantasy dramas.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, wait. Okay, quickly, before we continue. So the show, I'll give a quick synopsis since you didn't stop me this time to tell.
Sorry, guys.
Like, the last few times. So the synopsis is Kim Shin, which is the Goblin, played by Gong Yu.
Yeah.
Has lived for the last 900 years, looking for the Goblin's bride, who is the only person who can see and pull out the sword that's in his chest. The Goblin's bride. The twist is the Goblin's bride is his true love, who happens to be the baby he saved, right? The mother he saved, and the baby he saved, right?
Yeah.
So it's the baby that the child that he saved.
Yeah.
Ends up falling in love with and whatever. So it's like it's a tragedy, right? It's a love tragedy kind of thing.
It's a fated romance.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So his whole goal as the Goblin, literally, is to die. That is his punishment from the gods. Is he is living an immortal life to find his true love, and his true love has to kill him, pretty much, to end his immortality, because the Goblin's bride doesn't have immortality, right? Yeah. So that is the story here. That is the basis of the story. He has immortality to get rid of, to pretty much pass on, because he's pretty much tired of everybody dying around him. He needs to meet the Goblin's bride to pull the sword out.
Okay, so quick question.
Yep.
So obviously, spoiler again. So he eventually dies within the show and comes back.
Yep.
Can he die again?
I think.
Like
I don't think so anymore, because he comes back because one, I'm pretty sure, one, because he still technically had all his powers, and two, the strong connection and will between the two of them. Okay. So it defied the gods at that point.
So then, Yoon Tak in the show talks about the four lives that you technically have in reincarnation in the Korean folklore type of thing. So say that you do have 4 lives, and she was on her first life in this. She was in her first life that she lived. She eventually comes back at the end of the show, which you see, and they finally meet. Yeah. Like, she must be 15, 14, old enough.
I think she's a senior, so like 17, 18, 19, something like that.
So hopefully legal. So it's great that they can live together, like now in this new life. But does he have to watch her die 3 more times?
Pretty much. I think so. I think the only way maybe he can end his own life. I'm not sure.
Like, man, I don't know if I'd want to do that. Like, love is great and all, but like, after living 900 years, like, fuck.
Yeah, I've
seen it all. Let me go.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I wanted to actually talk about was his emotional mental state, like his mind state after living 900 plus years. Yeah. Okay. And I'm talking about, like, we'll get to, like, we'll say about halfway through the show, before all the stuff at the end happens, right? Because that's a lot of shit to take at the end there. Excuse me. And that's, like, all the more reason why someone needs to pull that sword out. Yeah. So he lived for 900 plus years. Okay. Yeah. He's like 939 by the time we first meet him. Okay.
So technically he's 40.
We'll
give that. We'll pretend he's 40.
Yeah. So he ends up developing power, like abilities and powers as he gets as he goes through the years. And I mean that's something that's in a lot of fantasy and a lot of sci-fi, fantasy fiction, where when an immortal lives for so long, he starts developing other abilities. Yeah. Like that's a common occurrence if you're into fantasy at all. Yeah. You'll see this a lot. So that it's cool. Well, but I mean, it's useless, and you can see it at the beginning of the show when you first see him when her mom is hit before she's born, when her mom's pregnant with her, and she's hit by the car. Yeah. He's sitting by himself drinking a beer, and he's kind of like, what do I do? Yeah. Right? There's no point in, like, you know what I mean, living. So, like, he goes back and forth between Quebec and Korea. Right? And that's just to pretty much change his identity every few decades.
It's 20 years.
20, 30? Yeah, 20 years. So every few decades, he goes back and forth just to, change his identity so that, you're, I've known you for 90 years and you still look the same, right? Yeah. But I mean, like, you see some glimpses of his past, where he knows people, he's been friends with people. It's like you have to deal with seeing them die.
Yeah.
And
like it's hard enough to do it in just a regular lifetime span.
Yeah, and like after so many deaths, how do you cope with that? You know what I mean? Like it's not something that you want to be like, okay, yeah, that's normal. Right? Like you start to, in my opinion, the way I saw it is that he started to isolate himself from people and only really had the descendants of his
of the family that owed him,
right? The Yu family.
But like, what else are you supposed to do technically? Because if you hang around with people too much, and they're like, in 20 years, they're gonna realize, why isn't he aging?
Yeah, no, I know, and that's like that takes a big hit on you, right?
Yeah,
like you don't really like you can't, like right now. Okay, so right now in the middle of the pandemic, it's like no one's allowed to see each other, touch each other, talk to each other, right? Imagine doing that for like over a few hundred years, right?
Yeah.
Where you shouldn't be talking or interacting with people, right? Granted, he does, because the goblin in folklore, which is what he's based on, in the Korean folklore, is that he helps humans with miracles.
Yeah.
Right? That's essentially what he is that he
Sandwiches.
he grants miracles to humans.
Yeah.
That way, some of them, and he explains it at one point, some of them, when he offers the sandwich, ends up taking it and then offering it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like pay for it kind of thing. And some other people take the sandwich and then come back for more, try and come back for more, right? And that again takes another, like, how many people do you have to meet that are so greedy that they're gonna come after you, and then you don't give them what they want, and then they start harassing you and like betray you and all that stuff, right?
I think that's bound to happen in your lifetime anyway. So he's just living longer, so he sees it more.
Yeah.
Like you obviously see it at least once or twice in any type of lifetime.
Yeah, but the amount of times that he sees it, that takes another toll on you, right? So that's like.
But I think what he does is, like, I understand it's a goblin feature, yeah, whatever. Like helping people, which is kind of like I think it's kind of cool. I like that, and like he was like granting miracles, and the people. I like the people that took those miracles and took it as a sign and then did something with it and took it as like, okay, now's
like
my time,
second chance, or that opportunity that you've been waiting for and you finally are granted with. You're presented that opportunity, and you get take it and run with it, right?
Yeah.
No, I agree, and I like that, and I think that helps in those types of situations where you're just like, okay, I helped somebody, like this person is actually took what I gave them and made something of it, right?
And then you can always see too, like you can come back in like 20 years and see how far they took it, right? Which is kind of cool. One
of them was really cool.
It was the little boy,
the
right?
Little boy, which was cool.
I'm pretty sure that he was in Quebec though.
No, he was. I think he was in France.
Oh, was it in France
or something like that? Okay. And then he was somewhere, but it was Quebec. It was supposed to be Quebec, right? It was filmed in Quebec because I remember we walked somewhere in a similar area.
You saw the red door, guys.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So at this point, when you meet the goblin, when he meets the Grim Reaper, and he meets Untuck, I think that's when his kind of mind state kind of, I don't want to say changes, but he starts to kind of open up a bit more. He starts to be more comfortable, because especially with the Grim Reaper, Grim Reaper's been around for 300 years or so he gets a sense of like camaraderie through that, where it's like, oh, he's been he's been alive for a long time, and I've been alive for a long time. Like, we'll probably live for a long time together, kind of thing. So, and like they're both of another sort, right? Like,
yeah, they're both weird.
Yeah. And they get along. They're complete opposites.
Yeah.
But they get along. I think that really, in my opinion, especially with Untak, that those two really helped him mentally, I think, in my opinion. That's why he was so childish, right?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't really he grew up a warrior, and then he died a warrior, and then he had to live different lives.
Yeah.
And see people die, so he didn't really kind of have, he probably did have fun here and there, but he never really got to be himself.
Yeah.
And actually enjoy himself, only with the grandfather, right?
Yeah,
when
true.
Growing up.
So what point do you think it clicked for him that he needed to, like, he changed? Like, where did you see it change? Like, his whole mentality and perspective?
So there was an okay. So do you remember the episode where Untak, she leaves her aunt and her cousins, and then at one point she ends up in a hotel. They put her in a hotel because Dakwa puts her in a hotel.
Yeah.
And then she calls him, right? She has
With
1,010 candles, calls him, and he's just like, "Sarange," like, "I love you," whatever. And he kind of just says it like that. I think after that, not necessarily in that moment, but like after that, it was kind of where he starts to shift, because it's like she kept pushing to see him and like and whatnot. So I
would push to see someone too if I could blow out a candle and they just appear. Come on.
I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that.
Taking
ability.
a shower, blow out the candle.
Thanks.
Oh,
You're such
nice.
a brat. I think that's where it starts to shift, because he kept trying to push her away, right?
Yeah.
Because he figured he started to actually like her.
Yeah. And he didn't want to.
He didn't want to, because at that point, if she does pull out the sword, then everything is over.
It's such a, like, it's a I guess a conflict of interest, essentially. It's like, okay, I like her, I'm in love with her, but she's my bride, now she has to pull out the sword.
Yeah. So,
and then she's also fated to die too, so that's also a thing, right?
Yeah.
So if she doesn't pull out the sword, he now has to wait, and she passes away. He has to wait years again to find her.
And like, so she is fated to die too. She was supposed to die the night her mom got hit by the car. She was supposed to live, but he saved her, saving the baby, marking her as the Goblin's bride. So every 9 years, the Grim Reaper shows up. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And they explain it. It's a whole, like, numerology.
I think it's almost pretty much the cycle of completion, essentially.
Yeah. So
I think that's 10, but, like, I think 9 kind of just goes on to that.
Well, 9 is, oh my God. Because 9, because he was saying that 9 is the perfect, like, not the perfect number, but, like, the number that's not perfect. So if anything were to happen, it's always on the 9 every 9 years or something like that. Anyways. So that, I think that's where things change for him. And
it's cursed. Sorry, I'm just gonna interrupt you. It's cursed. It's a cursed number. In 9.
Okay, there you go.
Because there was, like, it's
right before the complete number.
No, it's has to do with, I could be wrong, so correct us if we're wrong. It's started from the Koreans' liberation from Japanese occupation. So 8 shamans representing 8 provinces of Korea out of these strong sorry, I lost it. So it's essentially just a curse number. It's a curse number for them.
Okay,
so that's
it's like what's the number in the Chinese? It's
6, I think.
No, it's 4. 4, because 4. sounds close to death.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Yo, guys, correct us if we're wrong, huh? Please. We need... It's a learning experience for everybody.
But I think 6 too, no?
I think 6 is in our culture.
No.
Where people are like,
No,
666, and 666 is not a really bad
No, because my cousins were trying to sell their house, and their address is either 6 or 9. Oh, maybe it was 9.
I don't...
And, Asians would not go near the house. They were like, no. It was very interesting, actually.
I'm really curious now. Curious number and Chinese. It's 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 4. Pinyin.
So maybe they were Korean and it was
It's
9.
an unlucky number because it's nearly a homophone to the word death. Yeah, so it's 4. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. There's something new.
Yeah. So so his mind state is really fragile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not fragile. He's very
He's just
he's a tough
off.
cookie. Yeah, he's a tough cookie.
Yeah.
He was closed off, and then the relationships that he built here in this time really helped him move forward, become open himself up pretty much.
Become
right?
who he was meant to be.
Excuse me.
Fated to be. I like the word fated for this show because it's just everything is fate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is, right?
Yeah. But on that note, can I just say that for me, the moment I met you, I started coming out of my shell. I feel like your family and my family will all say that I'm in my teen years, I was a very reserved person because of a lot of stuff that happened. So I just kind of hid in my shell. And then finally I met you and was able to expand to all my glory, weirdness.
Yeah. And I mean, personally, meeting you is the same way for me as well, kind of thing, because I've always been shy.
Yeah.
I've always been an introvert. I'm
still an introvert. Don't come near me.
I've always been that way. Mm-hmm. Even dating. Yeah. I've never really opened up properly, and I know I've girls broken up with me because of that. Yeah.
Not me.
But meeting you was a little different. Talking to you was very different. Mm-hmm. I mean, I gave you shit on our first date. I've never done that before. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I wasn't like, oh shit, why did I do that kind of thing. I was just kind of
still don't like tomatoes.
I just kind of what the fuck? What are you doing? And I don't regret it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Usually, and instantly after I'll say something, I usually regret it, right? And that's kind of the introvert in me. Yeah. Where it's don't say things you don't want to say. Mm-hmm. You don't want people, you know what I mean? But I hold back a lot. Not with you, but in general.
Yeah. He doesn't hold back with me.
No, and that is why we are together, is because we can talk and not have to hold back, right? And
whereas a lot of other people, we can't really say everything.
I mean, yes and no. Some. I mean, I tried to surround myself with people that I can be open with, like Theo, Kardak, Ozil. They're my closest friends. They're my best friends, and I can be honest with them.
Me too.
Yeah, and
I don't have friends, guys, so I don't have anyone to talk to.
So that's why it's great, because it's if I'm not scared to say things anymore, right? I'm not scared to hurt someone's feelings, because if I hurt someone's feelings, we're all honest with each other. So it's if I hurt, you know what I mean, Kardak's feelings, I'm gonna know it.
Yeah, but you don't do it in a way to
no, but that's
purposely hurt their feelings.
Yeah. But that's where we're honest with each other. It's yo, don't be an asshole. Yeah, don't be an ass. Why you saying? Don't be, you know. So
it's interesting to see how we relate to the character in a sense. We needed each other to come out of our shells.
Yeah.
And he needed the Grim Reaper and Untak to come out of his, and his nephew.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like the Grim Reaper was a good character for him.
Yeah.
Because if he just met Untak, I think he would have a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would have.
No, I think he needed it. Because it's like the whole fire and ice. Because the Goblin's fire, Grim Reaper's ice.
That's true, yeah.
And it's like one's heating up the other, but one's cooling down. So it's kind of like yin and yang.
Yeah. Exactly. They're opposites, and then they complete each other, right?
Yeah.
So they're like
they're soulmates, but soulmates.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they are meant to like they. So okay, we're gonna get to this actually right now. We're gonna talk about this. Is the reincarnation. So in the show, Gong Yu was the soldier that reported directly to the King Yo.
Yeah.
Who Wang Yo, who
is
the Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper.
Right?
Woo-hoo.
So the Grim Reaper was his former king. Neither of them know it at that point until about halfway or a little bit more than halfway through the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Grim Reapers, they are Grim Reapers because in their past life they took their lives. Yeah. They took their own lives.
But they're also not supposed to know their past life.
They're
right?
not supposed, because they get their memories erased.
Yeah.
And the whole reason, and I actually just clicked in actually the other day when they figure out why they're Grim Reapers.
Mm-hmm.
The whole punishment.
Yeah.
Is you're not going to be reincarnated until you have that will to live, that love of life, and that's why he was that's why the last person that he had was Sunny.
Yeah.
Was because he finally realized
that he wants to live for her.
He wants to live for her, and he went through his entire punishment. Because of the shit that he pulled off in the past, and he finally realized the value of life. Yeah, and that's where he gets to be reincarnated.
Okay. Side note though, like if him and Sunny had a sideshow, just them. Great. My God. Well, they
had a show together after called.
No. As these characters, like as the she was a detective. No, he was a detective and she was an actress. Is that what it was?
So in the show,
oh my God, was it the same thing?
She's an actress and he's a lawyer.
Oh shit!
So she needs to go. She wants to be. She wants a part of a lawyer, so she's going to shadow him as a lawyer, but he doesn't like it because he's actually takes his job seriously. Whereas she's a diva actress, right? So. I only watched the first couple episodes. I didn't really get into it yet, but it's not bad, and I heard good things about it. So, I mean, they're both great actors, so why not? So back to like the reincarnation. So they were together. Sunny was the Goblin's sister. Yeah. Who was married to the king. Yeah. Okay.
Was he married? Were they married or were they getting married?
They got married. They were married. Okay. While he was away. Okay. They didn't. Like, he didn't want him there at all. That's why he kept sending him away.
Yeah, but he didn't. He was he was being whispered to by an evil.
Yeah, by his advisor, by the king's advisor, which usually in all these period dramas, they're all pieces of garbage. So those three, right? And then the nephew's ancestors comes from there, right? Yeah. So that's right. So those three are together again. Yeah. And Untak, it's her first life. So he didn't, he always talked about his first love. It was because he had a vision of her. If you don't remember, like you have to if you rewatch the show, it's like a cool, like he mentions it and then he mentions it again later on, but his first love was because he had a vision of the future. Oh, cute. And he saw her, and he's like, "Oh wow!" And I fell in love. And then he kept telling her about his first love, or she kept asking about his first love. And when she finally found out it was her, she's like, okay, I'm not mad anymore.
It shows you the
everybody's connected.
Yeah, like
right? The connection between people.
Yeah.
Between souls.
Yeah. Like you're bound to like the people that you meet, like let's say you're bound to meet the people that you meet. There's a reason for you meeting them, whether they're insignificant or they're significant. Like everyone has like kind of a thing to your life.
Exactly. And you'll hear us say you'll hear us repeat this a lot. Like we did this last episode as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of these shows show that connection. A lot of shows in general, like if you really pay attention to a lot of shows that have this where people meet as kids and then meet again and whatever, it's because of that connectivity. Everybody is connected, whether you want to believe so or not. Everybody that around you is connected to you. Your family members are connected to you from past to present to future.
I feel like so you have your family members, even if they're not family in this lifetime. In
the past life, your family members could have been other people.
Yeah.
But you were all always connected somehow.
Yeah. So
right? You're always around, even if it wasn't like we're married now. In the past life,
we could have been like father daughter. But like that's weird, guys. Don't think.
But like. We could have been like friends for like a few years. You know what I mean? Like not long or like close, but we were always together.
Yeah. Connected. The people that are meant to be in your life will always be there no matter what.
Exactly.
And like essentially you're brought to the world to learn lessons with these people. Like you have to
Yeah, you have to you need to learn.
Whether it's like they wronged you and now you have to just kind of forgive them and you for some reason you don't like them and just learn to.
So this show is a perfect example of that with the Grim Reaper and Sunny.
Yeah.
Because of what the Grim Reaper did as the king in the past to Sunny.
She's like. This
lifetime where Sunny is reincarnated. This is his pretty much.
His punishment,
but this is where he has to learn. What he learns what he did wrong to her, why they can't be together in this lifetime.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's his lesson. It's like he was meant to learn what he did wrong.
Yeah,
and to really see. Because he was in love with her in the past, but he was
they're
so
fated
blinded.
to be together, but like he just did an idiot thing.
But he needs to learn. But that was the thing. So he needed to learn what he did wrong there.
Yeah.
So this lifetime there was no way they were going to be together.
Yeah.
There was no way, and I loved how the writer did this, where they did not allow them to be together.
Like it sucked because they were so cute together, and like he really did care about her, but it's like you see the turmoil within both of them, where it's like, oh, he's not calling me, but I can't touch her. And, like, oh, these things.
And when she gets, I keep hitting it. When she gets her memory back from her past life, she realizes too, like they can't be together.
Yeah.
Because he needs to learn. He needs to know why. He needs to learn that he did something incredibly wrong.
Yeah.
By his actions. And so that's why they can't be together. And I love the writer for doing this, for being able to show that, because sometimes.
They just end up together.
You're if you're not with that person that you're meant to be with in this lifetime, you will end up with that person you're meant to be in the next lifetime. The reason being is that you need to learn something this lifetime from somebody else.
Yeah.
Right?
We know someone like that.
Yeah. Let's keep that to ourselves.
I know, but it's cool.
But yeah, that's what I really loved about their storyline.
Yeah.
Was amazing because of that. It was phenomenal to see that.
It was very in depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it really. Like I would have liked to see more, obviously, because I am used to the Americanized TV in more than one season, and
Yeah.
But I love how Koreans wrap everything up so beautifully. Yeah. And this show was done like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And.
Like you would like to see more, but I mean, like by the end of the show, it's like 100 and some years in the future.
Is it that far? I thought it was only like 60.
No, because it went 30 years. So 30 years passed, and then that's when Sunny dies. Right? Okay. And then a few years later. And then because he sees he sees them, right? So it's like 30. That's 30. Another 30 years.
Okay.
Right. So it's 60.
Yeah.
Right. But then we see the glimpse into the future too, because he sees the future as well.
Yeah.
And then you see, okay, maybe it is 60. Maybe it's 60 to 90 to between 60 and 80 years.
But
possibly.
like, imagine, like, again,
because she's like almost she's in high school at that point.
Yeah, she's almost like, she must be a senior.
60, so almost 80 years.
Imagine waiting that long again to see the love of your life, like the person that you're meant to be with. Like, obviously, if it's fated, it's fated. But like, holy crap, my impatience is dying. Like, I would literally die.
Well, that's exactly why I wanted to talk about it. It's like, yo, what do you do in the not like what do you do in the meantime, but like, how do you? The guy owns Chateau Frontenac, and he owns the cell phone and furniture companies. Like, so.
Yeah, it's still
but
invest.
I mean, like, what do you? How do you? Like, emotionally, you don't have that person.
Yeah.
You don't have,
especially when the Grim Reaper's
gone. Yeah.
Like, at that point, I'd be like,
And like, as much as the nephew and like he spends time with the descendants.
Yeah.
It doesn't give him that emotional stability, right? So it's really interesting to see how he was able to hold out.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be able to, but you know.
I mean, you drive yourself insane waiting.
I'm driving myself insane waiting right now.
Oh my god.
But you know, it's a different story.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think this is gonna need a part 2 because I think that's.
Yeah.
We can. Did you?
Okay,
why don't touch on something else right now?
No, I'm good. I could go on in just the 2 topics that we have, but there's another new segment that we're adding.
So.
Which is called "What's Poppin'."
Like last week we spoke about the segment was "What's Good in the Hood."
Yeah.
That segment is for rap and hip hop. This segment, "What's Poppin'," is gonna be for K-pop. Okay. So what's poppin'?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put one note. Okay, I would love to see Blackpink and Little Mix. I think they're very good. They would work so well together. But anyways, continue. You can do your song.
So this week I think this was a good pick. I know there's a lot of like new songs out right now, which everybody should check out. One being like Baekhyun and Kai both have solo albums out.
Ooh,
from
cool.
EXO, and yes, I'm a bias to EXO. That's my, but
BTS
anyways,
people hate you now.
I love BTS too, so it's okay. But so
I like BTS better, guys.
The song we're gonna talk about today is "90s Love" by NCTU.
Yeah.
Or NCT. So NCT is a big group, guys. It's a big group. If you don't know NCT. I mean, you should, technically, especially if you're in the States or in Korea. Canada, we kind of suck with music stations.
Is it aired in the States?
What?
Is it aired, like, more,
Because they did, like, Good Morning America. They did, like, a bunch of shows and stuff like that. Like for the last few years, right? They did, what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel? No, not Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, Kimball.
Kimmel?
Kimmel, Jimmy Kimmel, the other sorry guys, I don't watch.
He doesn't watch late night talk shows. Neither do I.
Late night talk shows or a lot of North American television to begin with. So, but like NCT is a big group. They have NCT, NCT 127, NCT U, NCT Dream. Like these, what SM Entertainment did was they literally they stole all the really great, like these amazing talented singers and dancers and rappers, and they took them all and they hogged them all is what they did. And they're like, you know what?
Oh man, that's smart.
And they were probably like, someone was probably like, yo, you can't just take them all. You're not going to put all of them in a group. And what Suman did was like, yo, watch me do it. And he put them all in a group. Yeah. So this song is sung with Sungchan. Jeno, Win-Win, I love Win-Win, Hei-chan, Yang Yang, and then Ten, who's also in Super M.
One of my favorites.
And Mark, who's also in Super M.
One of my favorites.
And actually, Ten is in Wavy as well. And Mark is our fellow Canadian.
Woohoo! Toronto, right?
Toronto, and grew up in Vancouver as well.
Nice. Shout out.
He's very Mark is very Canadian.
Yeah.
I am not like, you can see in the way he speaks English.
Yeah.
When he talks very Canadian. Like, if you ever watch him speaking in English, you're like, wow, he's from Canada. 100%. I'm sorry, guys, if you guys want to claim him as American.
He's not American, though.
Whatever. He speaks like a Canadian.
He's either Canadian or Korean. Like, you can't.
I know.
Americans can't take that because he doesn't even live in America.
Yeah. So I love Mark. He's an awesome rapper. Like this, like his own
He's
like
funny.
his stuff. He's hilarious. But he's an awesome rapper. And I would love to like produce a song for him. So this song is called 90s Love. Okay. And it's pretty much a theme song for
90s kids.
90s kids who grew up in the 90s,
Which is us.
kids who love the 90s and the 90s music.
Us.
It's a fantastic song because it has some of the sounds that they use in the instrumental.
Has like a very good
lot of-
90s beat.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. They use a lot of the 90s sounds,
Yeah.
which is great. A lot of the 90s drums as well. They mix in with the K-pop genre, like the new age
Yeah.
K-pop, hip-hop, dance music, kind of mix it in there.
Wait, side note. You know how Mark's Canadian?
Yeah.
Did they put the hockey things in the video to like touch on that, or like?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think, and I forgot to wear it. I think because in the 90s, the biggest thing in the 90s here in North America was the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, right.
The Mighty Ducks movies, right? And I think
I didn't really watch them, but okay.
I think that's what it was, because it looked like the Mighty Ducks kind of thing, unless they were trying to like touch on like hockey in like Mark being Canadian. If it is, like, yo, all the power to you. Like, that'd be awesome.
Do they have a hockey like a legit hockey team
In Korea, I have
like other than the?
I
for
can
the
actually
Olympics?
tell you, I have no idea.
Okay. Let us know
In
if
Japan,
you
I know they do,
Mhm.
because when I was there, I was watching it on TV.
That's true.
Caught me by surprise.
Mm.
But it was actually really good.
Okay, back to the song.
So the song,
Sorry.
okay, so this song it has a lot of good takes a lot of like the 90s sounds, like the 90s drums and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like listening it from a producer perspective. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of the parts obviously blend the 90s and the new age kind of stuff, which they did an amazing job. Who produced it? Gia Lee. Yo, props to you, man. And I say man to woman or man.
everyone.
Don't worry, I call my wife bro all the time, so please don't take offense to that.
Not his bro.
She's my bro. But it gives you like a lot of nostalgia with the sounds.
So I think one of the first or second times that I listened to it, you were telling me about the song, and then we were in the car and you put it on, and like, this reminds me of the 90s, and you're like, it's called 90s Love, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, and it just has that. It's just well done, and it uses like, so if you read like some of the like the lyrics in English, it has like a lot of the it has a lot of
90s.
oh my god, 90s
Well, that would make
nostalgic
sense. Well, it has like a.
oh my god, stabs it, like, that's not the right word, because it's not a diss track. It's like it like pokes. Man,
It has a lot of 90s references.
Thank you, references. Ah! Yes, references.
I like watching him struggle sometimes.
I don't like you today. But it has a lot of that, which is great, which is like what really brings all like the song together.
Yeah.
And then the music video was hilarious,
Yeah,
because
the music video is really good.
it reminded me of the Mighty Ducks,
Yeah.
which came out in the 90s. And like you were saying, maybe it is reference to Mark being Canadian, you know what I mean? And being from Toronto and Vancouver. Toronto being so in the 90s, Toronto Maple Leafs went to the Stanley Cup Finals. Conference Finals versus the LA Kings back in 1993.
That's good.
And they lost. It was when Wayne Gretzky was with LA Kings, and they completely annihilated them.
What team was he on when he was in Canada?
Edmonton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was a big when he left, he was there for years and years. He won
Was he from Edmonton?
I think he's from Edmonton.
But why does he have Ontario wine then?
Who makes wine in Edmonton?
I don't know.
Is there any wineries in Edmonton? Because a lot of wineries are from Ontario.
Oh no, I'm just asking.
I don't know. Maybe he's from Ontario. I don't know. But a lot of wine is made in Ontario. Majority of the wineries and.
I feel like as a hockey fan, you should know this. You're gonna get hate. Anyways, that's fine.
Listen, I prefer Mario Lemieux over Wayne Gretzky.
I don't know who that is.
He's
I'm not a hockey fan at all.
I'm just saying, okay? I love Wayne Gretzky, but I love Mario Lemieux more.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, the song was really good. I liked it. I like songs that I can bop to.
Yeah, this is a really good song to like. This is a song, honestly, SM Entertainment, this is the song that you should do in English, that you should have done an English version of. Like NCTU and NCT, a lot of SM artists have done a lot of English version songs. And I think this song specifically should have been done in English as well.
I like the Korean language.
No, I do, but I think this would have been big here. Granted, they're all kids born in the late 90s, early 2000s, so they're not really 90s kids, and I don't think they really they didn't live through the 90s, right?
No.
So but I mean, they got the feel right. They got everything good. They picked the right members of the group, I think, for this specific song.
I agree.
Because obviously you can't have the whole group.
That'd be so cool, though.
Well, yeah.
Imagine doing a whole group video. Did they do that?
Yeah. We watched it. Remember on?
It was the award show.
Yeah. Resonate. Wasn't
that a song that was mixed with all their songs and it was just really confusing?
They mashed a bunch of songs together.
Yeah, that confused me. I didn't understand.
It was kind of. They did the same. I think that's an SM Entertainment thing because Super M did the same thing with Infinity and One.
Oh, okay.
They mixed two songs together.
Oh, I think that's confusing. It's fine, but I get bop in and then all of a sudden the beat changes and I'm just that's okay. How do I bop now?
That's okay.
Anyways.
But so, right members for the song, vocally, in my opinion, they all have great talented. But I mean, it would Taeyong, you know how his voice is kind of a little deeper and a little rougher. I don't think he would have been that great on this song because in the 90s
it was all high pitch.
It wasn't. The only one in the 90s you'll hear with a really deep voice was either Tupac
and R&B. Well, no, it was R&B really.
But they were all softer voice, right? Taeyong has a rougher, he has a rougher voice.
Still hot though.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying for this song specifically, I think they picked the right members where they're all softer.
Yeah.
I think the Mark's voice was a little hard, but still it was still soft because he still sounds like a little boy. No offense, man, you still sound amazing. I could never sing like you do or rap like you do. I wish.
I can.
Okay. So that's what's popping. We are. What are we? We're Coffee and Dramas.
Wow, it's right behind you.
No, I was gonna say we're gonna have a contest real soon, eventually. So we want to do
either this month or next month.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. But please stay tuned.
Yeah.
Because we will
post
start.
It.
Yeah, we'll start doing some contests here and there for some, not random, but more relevant merchandise. Not ours specifically. If you do want merch.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure that out too. I should have wore it today too, my shirt, but anyways.
You failed.
I failed again. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. And yeah.
Thanks for listening. We love you.
Thank you.
Hit like, subscribe for new videos and content. Follow us on every platform because we're there. Facebook, Twitter.
And don't forget to
YouTube.
If you have any suggestions, don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate.
I have a lot of free time right now, so you know.
We all have a lot of free time right now.
Shh. Love you. Bye.